with the whole alpha strike idea of these guys. So, but the thing is, can they really pull it off? Could they hurt somebody so bad that it was just a mop up after that? Like the thing I got with the Raven Guard, or the Blood Ravens. You know, once those teleporting, levitating, jumping Centurions came in and just blew the biggest thing in the army up. And the drop pod came down with the Stern Guard with combi meltas, came down and blew up the second biggest thing in the entire army. Then it's just like, well, okay, now what's left can try and counter those guys. And then it becomes not a fair fight because you basically just put the knife in before they said go. All right, so they have Mirage launchers too, so that's nice. That gives them a little bit of defense there. Skyweaver jet bike, I just want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. It basically just makes them an Eldar jet bike with one other thing. Oh, and it has a 4-up save and a shuriken cannon, so not too shabby for the thing. Fear, Furious Charge, Hit and Run. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention the troops are loaded with Fear, Fleet, Furious Charge, and Hit and Run. So, yeah, and that's great. That is really a good special rule. Okay, time and battery is running short here. So I'm just, for the time being, yeah, there's not a lot of entries in this army. There's the Star Weaver, Void Weaver, so the light ship gun platform / transport. Sky Weavers, great new model for that. Then there's Solitaire, Shadow Seer, Death Jester, so 3 heroes, and then there's the troops. But there's so much weird stuff and like allies and things that you can just do that. Did want to just point out one very bizarre formation, and formations are becoming a big part of the game. So you've got Sigorach's Revenge, Serpent's Brood, there's 2, Cast of Players, 3, Sigorach's Jest, that's the Laughing God, by the way. So there's 4, 5, 6 things. The one that interested me most, and I don't know if it could just be like, this sounds cool, but your chances are you're not going to pull it off, is Serpent's Brood gives you the Sky Stride. So that basically means they can hit and run and they can get back on their transport. But I'm thinking, hit and run, 11 inches average, but to get them all to embark, because you have to embark the whole unit, maybe 8 inches, that transport's going to have to be like really close. But to disembark, you can only move 6, right? And then it just doesn't add up. It's like you have to be so close for a whole turn to get both the transport and the guys close enough for it actually to work. So I don't know. I'm going to try it. Definitely going to build up a Harlequins army. I'm looking for 3 or 4 troop things, all in transports, and then a couple of Void Weavers, basically un poco de todo. And or they can consolidate, which is only D6, so you'd have to be like really close for that, and actually get on. And once you embark, you can't move, because that's the first thing I looked up. I'm like, could they embark and then could they run in, kill things, get back on, and then like zoom off? That would have been amazing. But it also gives them reroll. Warlord can reroll Warlord traits. The Warlord traits are weird in this one too. They are really like, it's like magic cards here. I mean, it's changing the game. So for example, just going to talk about this less. First off, you have 3 lists to choose from: Light, Twilight, and Dark. So awesome. The Dark has Twisted Encore. You can... the Warlord and his unit basically get an extra turn at the end of the game to run, charge, shoot, do a whole thing. So that's kind of weird. Another one allows you to Narrator of Wars. So it's like the troop master's kind of already set the stage for everything. And so you can add to or subtract to from game length rolls. So that's pretty awesome. So you could really turn the battle that way. So, and I haven't read every single one, but there's some cool stuff here. And of course, they're battle brothers with Eldar and Dark Eldar, so that makes it very easy to fit those elements in. And I think that's really where this will get the most power. So what I would do is I have a Harlequin themed army, and if I included Eldar or Dark Eldar, I would make them like Harlequin-esque. And that's where you can have some great, and you're gonna see some great stuff coming up on Cool Mini, that's for sure. As you know, you have like a Harlequin Wraith Knight, you know. I mean, you could really put that stuff and get a Farseer. I don't know what troops you would use, but you could Harlequin them out. So cool stuff, great color schemes, lavishly illustrated book, some really cool sort of freaky war gear in there. And so I gotta hand it to the Harlequins, I gotta hand it to GW. It's a really cool book, and I'm really looking forward to it. Definitely gonna have these in the pipes in the coming weeks. So folks, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow.